And running and Villa is loud.
Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast, and it's me, Rich, back with another instant match reaction to another victorious, another victorious episode. Aston Villa 3, Fulham 1, 13 home Premier League wins in a row. Absolutely phenomenal. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get yourself in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on today's game. I'll be going through all mine and running through the goals, running through performances. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Help us on the road to 3K. But yeah, satisfactory win, really, really good, really positive going into the international break. It was, I guess, the job was kind of done in the first half for Villa. You know, getting 2 goals up in the at half time, and then Fulham gave it a real go in the second half, and full credit to them, play some really good football. Probably missing that striker up front who can really finish off their chances, because a lot of their approach play is very good. But you know, where it matters, clinical in both boxes. Villa had the edge and obviously got the result. In terms of starting lineup, we'll talk that first. The one main change for Villa was Tielemans coming into the starting 11, and we did tease this on the match preview show. And I did think maybe that would be something that Emery would try. I actually went with Bailey as the starter, but Tielemans came in instead of Bailey and Zaniolo. So it was the normal back five: Martinez, Cash, Konza, Torres, Digne. And then it was Kamara and Luiz as the kind of sitting midfielders, McGinn and Tielemans further forward, and then Diaby and Watkins up front. And yeah, started really, really well. Really on the front foot. McGinn was getting into spaces, Tielemans was getting into spaces, and we were controlling the game. And on 7 minutes, well, actually before that, we had a really good opportunity to take the lead. But on 7 minutes, there was a penalty shout. Ball went into the box. Ollie Watkins has an effort. It looks like Timothy Castagne's arm is up, but it actually, and the ref pointed to the spot, went back to VAR, and it was clear that it hit him in the face. So that penalty was cancelled on 7 minutes, and we had one or two other openings, some really good approach play, particularly down that left-hand side of the game with Luca Dean, balls across the box, and you know, we just couldn't quite get on the end of it. But on 27 minutes, that's when the scoreline was, the deadlock was broken, and it was a lovely move. Ball comes to Douglas Luiz midway inside the Fulham half, and on that left-hand side again. But this time it's Yuri Tielemans making the run, the diagonal run in behind, ball up the line. Tielemans plays a first-time cross into the box, into that area that is really difficult for goalkeepers and forwards alike. And Diaby actually misses the ball, but it bounces enough Anthony Robinson into the net. Leno could probably say he should have done better with it, and maybe he thought that Diaby was going to get a touch, but Robinson gets himself into a complete mess and the ball goes into the net, and that's 1-0 Villa. And we really started to kick on from there. What we were doing really well is picking up that ball in the midfield and driving through. It might not have been exactly as we wanted with the final pass, but you could see the intent was there. And then on 42 minutes, that's when we extended the lead. John McGinn picks up the ball on the edge of the box, drives forward with it, and I was talking about kind of taking more shots from outside the box, but he took a shot from about 20 yards, I would say, just literally just outside the penalty box, right into the bottom corner. Fantastic finish. a player who is absolutely full of confidence at the moment, and that puts Villa 2-0 up at half time. And to be honest, McGinn was certainly the best player on the pitch today, I think, by some distance. The first half, I think, was flowing for Villa. There was, Diaby was getting on the ball, Dini was getting on the ball, and Louise was getting on the ball as well. Tielemans was really sharp, particularly in that first half, and we were really, really putting Fulham to the sword in a lot of areas. But for me, McGinn was just running the show. He gave Palhinha the run around in the first kind of 60 minutes, and forced him into four fouls in that first half. It was very surprising he didn't get a booking. But then moving into the second half, Fulham make a change, bring Harry Wilson on for Bobby De Cordova-Reid, who was struggling. And to be honest, Harry Wilson has tended to have good games against Aston Villa, so I was surprised that he didn't start. And that's when they started to play some better football. They tried to maybe make their runs from deeper, so you could see Robinson making runs from deeper, Wilson making runs from deeper, Pereira making runs from deeper, to try and combat that high line that we were using, and it was very effective in the first half. In the second half, particularly those third man runs, the ball goes into the forward man, he lays it off, and then there's a run from deeper that goes over or through, and that's what they were utilising well. And Harry Wilson was really effective at kind of doing that. But and yeah, they had one or two opportunities and one or two tight calls with regards to offsides, but that discipline line was excellent really for Villa, and also Palhinha finally got his booking. I think John McGinn played for it, but yeah, he got his booking on 52 minutes. But then on 62 minutes, Leon Bailey was introduced for Moussa Diaby, who I thought was good again today. Probably slightly more back to his best. He probably should have scored in the first half with an effort before we scored and before we got the actual penalty shout. But I thought he was a bit more back to his old self. But Leon Bailey comes on and has an absolutely immediate impact. Picks up the ball on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, sorry, plays the ball across to John McGinn and doesn't stop there, follows his run, overlaps around John McGinn. McGinn plays him in, a first-time cross across to Ollie Watkins, and that is 3-0 Aston Villa on 64 minutes. And you're thinking absolutely game over, game, set, and match, which it obviously proved to do. But full credit to Fulham, they stepped up and they kept pushing forward. And Anthony Robinson picked up a yellow card, but after that moment, he's then assisting Raul Jimenez on 70 minutes for the goal. Again, a deep run, well-timed pass over to Anthony Robinson, a bit sloppy from Villa, and then ball across to Jimenez to put in his goal. And I think that's the first goal he scored in about 18 months. So, yeah, it's always on Villa to kind of utilize to let players, break records or to go to kind of break goal scoring barren runs. But anyway, Raul Jimenez gets the goal, and there's a few hairy moments. Vinicius comes on and he has an opportunity to score, but then it was flagged offside, and I felt while we were sometimes a little bit last ditch and a little bit kind of it was a little bit stretched at times. I thought we defended pretty well. We'll be disappointed to concede that goal, but in general, we kind of worked hard for each other. Louise and Kamara were doing a lot of the kind of tracking and a lot of the screening in front of the back four, and we were quite comfortable to leave Cash and Dini 1v1. But Bailey was getting back to support at times, particularly in that second half. And then what we were utilising quite well was when we went on the transition and we won the ball, we were breaking quite fast, and that was really pleasing to see, certainly for the first 65, 70 minutes. And yeah, we kind of saw out the game, one or two kind of niggly moments, but absolutely excellent victory. I was a little bit surprised we didn't make more substitutions. Only Leon Bailey was used, and we had Moreno on the bench, we had Duran on the bench, obviously Zaniolo on the bench as well. So whether they were carrying a knock or whether just Emery wanted to see it out with the 11, and obviously Bailey only Bailey being the only substitution. But that was the only surprise for me. Performances, I thought Tielemans was excellent, particularly first 60 minutes, maybe tired towards the end, but some of his pressing and the ground he can cover at such speed, whether with or without the ball, was really key to us today. I thought Konsa and Torres were pretty solid at the back. I thought Kamara had a very good game again, and Louise was just masterful in that midfield, controlling the tempo. Ollie Watkins obviously gets his goal, but I do not know how he missed that opportunity towards the end of the game where McGinn does phenomenally in the corner against Bassi, plays the ball across. Again, it loops off Anthony Robinson, hits the bar, spins off the bar, and Watkins is literally 1 yard out, just has to head it in, manages to head it wide, doesn't even go out of play. And Bailey brings the ball in, tries to beat the keeper at the near post, but it hits the post. But yeah, Ollie Watkins will be having absolute nightmares about that. But good for him to get a goal. He pressed and harried quite a lot, particularly Tim Ream, particularly Palhinha, and did win the ball for us on a number of occasions. But for me, man of the match was John McGinn. He was absolutely fantastic today, really up for the battle. He wanted to play, he wanted that physical battle against Palhinha, and he won it hands down. And he was driving forward, obviously got his goal. I mentioned the bit in the corner against Bassi, but it's just strong and putting slide tackles in, all just on the edge of the game in terms of going over in terms of his tackles. But absolutely phenomenal performance from John McGinn, and real captain's performance, and to take us into that international break in 5th position on 25 points, 2 points off the top of the table, which is absolutely phenomenal. Quick tail of the tape in terms of the stats. So obviously Villa 3, Fulham 1. In 5th position, as I said there, 25 points from 12 games, 13 home wins in a row, 21 wins in this calendar year. Absolutely phenomenal from Unai Emery. I think that will break a record if we can get a win before the end of the year, which I think we will do, and we can go into these home games. We've got Tottenham away next. We've got Man City to come at Villa Park. We've got Arsenal to come at Villa Park. Let's see if we can get a result or get at least 1 or 2 results against them. That'll really cement us to really push for that top 4. Momentum, Fulham did have their times in the second half, we'll say that, but once we got 3-0 up, you kind of thought we would have that win sewn up. Possession even 51% against 49, just over 3 in terms of expected goals, and we scored 3 goals today. Fulham 0.83, 12 shots for Villa, 9 for Fulham, 6 on target, 5 on target for Fulham, 3 big chances for Villa, 1 for Fulham, 2 big chances missed though. Obviously the one from Ollie Watkins, which was incredible how he missed it. If you do get a chance to watch it on Match of the Day, then please do. 83% accurate passes and Fulham 85%. So it was a good match. I thought both teams played some good football, but Fulham just lacked that cutting edge for me in terms of a striker. And if they are to push up the table, they really do need a striker to finish off some of the good football that they're playing. But yeah, Villa go marching on, 5th in the table, 2 points off top. I can't keep saying it enough. Absolutely phenomenal this season, at home in particular. Let's make sure we match that with our away form. Going into this international break, the likes of Moreno can get more fitness. Zaniolo, obviously, is going on international duty, but come back, get some more time with training with the players. JJ can get more fitness back, and maybe he can get training with the players when he comes back. Duran is the same again. So there's lots to be positive about with Villa at the moment. Just great stuff, great win. Yeah, just fantastic. I can't say anymore. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with me, McGinn man of the match? What do you think about that high line? Do you think we were kind of a little bit stretched at times? But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. We'll be back later on for the full match reaction with the boys, but make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment down below, and as always, remember, we all follow the Villa. Thanks, everyone.